Okay, so thinking about becoming a tourist information center manager, helping travelers find those hidden gems, being the local expert everyone goes to for recommendations. It does sound kind of like a dream job, right?
It definitely has its appeal, but there's a lot more to it than just telling people where to find the best gelato. We're diving into your RoleCatcher research to get into what it really takes to excel in this career.
Yeah, you've bought some really great stuff. This career guide is amazing. The way it breaks down all the different levels within this job. I had no idea it was such a structured career path.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. They picture a tourist information center manager and just think, oh, they must have always worked there. It's not just one job title, it's a whole ladder you can climb.
Okay, so let's unpack this ladder. Where does someone even begin on this journey to becoming a tourism guru?
Well, typically it starts with a role like tourist information assistant. So that's like the first point of contact, giving those essential first impressions to visitors.
Right, so you're that friendly face, welcoming people, answering those initial questions. I bet you get asked, where's the bathroom? About 100 times a day.
Exactly. But it's also about going beyond those basic questions. Like imagine a family arrives and they're not sure how to spend their day. You're not just handing them a map, you're almost like crafting a mini adventure for them based on their interests.
So you need that local knowledge for sure, but also the ability to really listen and understand what each visitor is looking for. Those people skills are so important.
Absolutely. And as you progress, those skills are even more critical. The guide mentions that moving up to a tourist information officer role means you're taking on more responsibility, like actually using data to make the visitor experience even better.
Data. Okay, now that's not something I would have thought about with this kind of job. Tell me more about how that comes into play.
It's becoming more and more important. Think about it. You have all this information. What are visitors searching for online? When are the peak seasons? What kind of feedback are they giving?
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So you're analyzing those trends, anticipating what visitors need, maybe even coming up with better marketing campaigns.
Exactly. Let's say you're seeing a lot of visitors from a certain country who are interested in local crafts. Using that information, you could work with local artisans and create targeted promotions that benefit both the local economy and give the visitor a great experience.
That's amazing. So it's a lot more strategic than it might seem at first. You're not just reacting to what tourists need, you're actually kind of like shaping their experience.
And that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
As you move up this ladder into roles like supervisor or eventually tourist information center manager, the strategic thinking just gets more and more important.
Okay, now you've really got me curious. What kind of things are involved in those higher level roles? What challenges and successes await?
So you're talking about stepping up into more of that leadership position as a supervisor.
Yeah, you're the bridge between those frontline interactions and the big picture strategy of a manager, right?
Right. Think about it. You're the one making sure that all those incredible visitor experiences we talked about actually happen.
Okay, so you're still very much involved in the day-to-day of the Tourist Information Center, but with a broader perspective.
Exactly. And that often means managing staff. You've got a team of people, often with different personalities and skill sets.
And that's going to come with its own set of challenges,
Exactly.
right? Dealing with conflicting opinions, maybe if someone on your team is having a rough day.
Oh, for sure. That's all part of it. And this role catcher guide actually has some great points about conflict resolution, really focusing on that clear communication, active listening, finding solutions that work for everyone.
So like being a coach in a way, you're guiding your team to work together, create that amazing visitor
I
experience.
like that analogy. And remember, it's not just about managing people. It's also about managing resources.
Oh, right. So that means keeping an eye on the budget, making sure the whole operation is running smoothly.
Exactly. And this is where those data analysis skills we talked about earlier can be really helpful.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, imagine if you could use visitor data to optimize your staff schedules, make sure you have enough people working during those really busy times.
That's using data effectively. So you're improving the experience for the visitors, but also for the people who work there.
Precisely. And as a supervisor, you're in a great position to try new things, maybe suggesting a different way to use technology or partner with a local business.
Speaking of technology, I'm really curious about that. I feel like the role of technology in tourism is always changing.
Oh, tell me about it. Remember those big fold-out maps we were talking about?
Yeah.
Well, those are still around, but these days you've got interactive touch screens, QR codes that link to virtual tours, Even AI chatbots that can answer questions 24/7.
Wow, that's a lot to keep up with. So, as a tourist information center manager, you really need to be kind of a tech person, always looking at what's new.
Definitely. You need to have a handle on technology. It's becoming essential. But it's not just about using all the newest gadgets. It's about knowing how technology can make the visitor experience better and your job easier.
So, finding that balance, right? Embracing those new ideas, but also remembering the personal touches that make travel so special.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll be talking about virtual reality tourist information centers. Visitors can get a taste of what it's like before they even arrive.
Now, that's an idea I like. It sounds like this career path really lets you be creative, find new solutions to problems.
It absolutely does. But it's also important to remember those human connections. Sharing a laugh with a visitor who's discovered their new favorite restaurant, or helping someone create a lasting memory.
Those are the moments that make it all worthwhile.
They are. And this RoleCatcher guide makes a good point about the importance of being genuinely enthusiastic about your town or city.
So you're not just selling a destination, you're sharing your love for it. And that makes a difference.
It really does. Okay, so we've talked about data, technology, the importance of connecting with people. But what does success actually look like for a tourist information center manager? What's the big picture?
Yeah. What's the end goal?
It's almost like they're the conductor of an orchestra, you know,
Uh,
bringing all these different elements together to create a fantastic experience for the visitor.
I like that, the conductor. It takes a special kind of person to do that. It's complicated, but the rewards must be amazing.
They really are. Imagine seeing your vision for tourism in your area come to life, or seeing how your work is helping the local economy.
Wow. So you're actually shaping a place, making it more vibrant and welcoming to people from all over.
And for someone who's passionate about their local area, it's an amazing feeling. So we've talked about the day-to-day, the strategy involved, even the emotional rewards. But there's one more level we haven't talked about, the Tourist Information Center Manager.
That top rung on the ladder, what does it take to get there?
So that top run on the ladder, that's where it all comes together.
Yeah.
All those leadership skills, the strategy, the passion for your region.
Becoming the tourist information center manager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at that level, it becomes less about managing one center and more about, I don't know, shaping the whole visitor experience for your entire area.
Right. So you're not just comfortable with data, you're using it in a big way to attract visitors and make sure they have the best possible time.
Yes. Imagine looking at those trends and realizing there's a whole untapped potential for ecotourism, for example. The manager might be the one to launch a whole campaign around that, working with local businesses to develop these amazing sustainable tour packages.
Oh, wow. So you're not just going with what's already working, you're finding those hidden gems, those unique experiences.
And it takes a lot of collaboration. Remember, we were talking about all those different groups involved in tourism, the local businesses, government agencies, even transportation services.
Right. It's a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. The manager is the one building those relationships, making sure everyone is on the same page, that everyone benefits.
Like we said, conducting that tourism symphony, getting all the instruments to play together.
Perfectly said. And don't forget the marketing side of things. The manager might be the one coming up with those slogans you see everywhere, finding new ways to reach new audiences.
So there's a creative element to it, too. It really does sound like it takes a lot of different skills.
It does. And this RoleCatcher guide makes a really good point about the level of dedication and resilience you need. You're dealing with travel trends that are constantly changing, the economy, even unexpected things that can happen.
Things you can't even predict.
Right. And the manager is the one who has to adapt and figure out how to keep their region competitive in the global tourism landscape.
So behind those beautiful pictures and catchy slogans, there's a lot of hard work happening.
Absolutely. But even with all the data and strategy, it still comes down to that human element, that genuine love for your local area.
Being able to share that passion with others.
Exactly. The best tourist information center managers are the ones who can turn that passion into real, tangible experiences for visitors. The kind of moments where people are just blown away by what they're seeing and experiencing.
Making memories that will last a lifetime.
And that's what makes this career path so special. Yeah, it's data and technology and all that, but ultimately it's about connecting with people and sharing what makes your part of the world so unique.
I love that. You've really given us so much to think about, from those first steps as a tourist information assistant, all the way up to Manager, what a journey.
And there's a place for everyone on that journey. Maybe you're passionate about the environment or learning about other cultures. Or maybe you just want to show off how beautiful your town is. There's a place for you in tourism.
This has been such an interesting deep dive. So for anyone listening who might be thinking, hey, maybe this is for me, what advice would you give them?
I'd say start with your own interests. What gets you excited about your town or city? What do you want to share with the world? Then think about the skills you already have. Do you love meeting new people? Are you super organized? Those are all valuable in this field.
And RoleCatcher has all those resources to help you take the next step. They've done all the hard work of explaining the career path, preparing for interviews, everything.
Seriously, they've thought of everything. So if you're looking for a career that's fulfilling and exciting, maybe this is your sign to go for it.
What a great way to wrap things up. This has been a really fascinating look at a career I honestly didn't know much about before.
Glad to hear it. It was my pleasure. And to everyone listening, until next time, happy travels.